Okay, so we've got our product. What about our image? Okay, we have not got a product image here. So it's quite subjective how you go about uploading your images, or what you do about creating images for your products. There's all sorts of guidelines out there which are, vary from place to place. For me, you need a decent quality image on your site. It's quite obviously, for most products, it's quite important that the image tells the story of what the product is. So if you can, I would suggest uploading an image that is around about 1000 by 1000 pixels. Okay, so you can put it into Photoshop or some graphic design package and resize the image down to that. Maybe 1500 by 1500 pixels, somewhere in that range is a good size for an image, and that advice may change down the line. So you've got to pick something that's right for your store, but that's probably a good starting point, is around about that sort of size. You don't want to go any higher than that, because what you'll see in a moment when we upload our images that the size you upload it at becomes the zoom. So on this particular theme anyway. And quite often, if you're using a theme that doesn't have a zoom built in, you may end up getting some functionality or an extension that does enable zoom. On this particular theme, we're using the default Magento theme after 1.9, which is called RWD. And it has a zoom feature built into it. So when you zoom in on the product image, it is going to be the size of the image that you upload. So if you upload an image that's too big, your close-up is going to be far too detailed. You can actually have images that are too detailed. So let's have a look at how we go about uploading our own images. So I'm going to go back to the product that we were creating. So we've just created this product here in the last video, creating a simple product, which is the luxury suitcase. Okay, you can see that there is a tab here called Images. If I go into that tab, what it's listing here in this grid is a list of all the images that we've uploaded for this particular product. It's obvious to see that there isn't any there. So to upload an image, first point before we go about uploading images, you should have these two buttons on your in your grid: browse files and upload files. If you don't have those buttons there, the likelihood is that you have not installed the Flash plugin. Okay, so Adobe Flash is required to enable those buttons to work, and if they're not there, you haven't got the plugin. So I'm using Chrome, which seems to in most cases have it as a default. If you're using something like Firefox or Internet Explorer, you may well have to go to the Adobe website, download that plugin, Adobe Flash plugin, and then restart your browser, and then you may have the buttons there. Okay, so the first thing to do is browse files. So if I select browse files, okay, and I'm just going to go to here, I'm just going to browse my own computer to find the files that I want. Okay, so I've got a few images here of suitcases that I pre-prepared earlier. So I'm going to select this image, the color suitcase image, and hit open. Now when I select that, what it does is it gives me some feedback on the image. So it tells me what the name of the image is. Another useful search engine optimization tip, by the way, is having image names that contain keywords or the name of your product, rather than just image 24 or something that doesn't relate to the product, because it does have a small bearing on the importance of those keywords. Okay, so if you're into search engine optimization, have a think about the image names that you're uploading as well. Okay, so that side. So it hasn't actually uploaded this image yet. I can remove it if I didn't think that was the right image, but if I am happy with it, then I click this button here, upload. Now when I hit upload, what that's doing is it's pushing that file up to the server. It's placing it into a subfolder of a folder called media, which is on our server. And it's also going to resize those images for where I want to use them on our particular store. Okay, so if I just click roll over here, we can just confirm that image has been uploaded. And if I leave this label blank, then this is the label for the alt text of the image. So when you hover over the image, you get this alternative text that comes up. So you can see there it says luxury suitcase. If I don't put anything in that tag, it's just going to pick up the name of the product, which is not a bad thing, but it sometimes can be a good idea to be more descriptive in this label. So I may want to say here that this is a okay. Sort order becomes applicable if we have multiple images within our image section, which we will do shortly, but let's just deal with the basics to start off with. So now we've got along here, you can see there's these radio buttons, and at the top, the first row of our grid says no image, and the second row has got our image. At the moment, what it's saying is that we do not have a base image, small image, and thumbnail. What is the base image, small image, and thumbnail? Well, let me show you. The base image is the main image for the product. So that's what appears on the product page when you click through. The small image typically will appear here, which is on the product category page. And the thumbnail, you can see over here, is used as recently viewed products, and it's also used in the checkout, and there's a few other areas it's used as well, such as cross-sell, related, and upsell. Okay, so we may have a use for those. Now, what I can do is I can basically say, well, our base image, small image, and thumbnail are all this image. So it's all various versions of that image. And now what will happen is if I save this and go back to the category page, okay, we now have the small image, or the product category image is the image we uploaded. I click through, our main image is the image we uploaded. You can also see when I hover over the image, it zooms into it, and that zoom is the actual size that we uploaded the image at. In this case, it was 1000 by 1000 pixels. Okay, so it zooms in slightly. So you can go, you could go to 1500 by 1500 and get a clearer zoom. Right, what else can we do with images though? We can upload more images. So I'm going to upload 2 more, and we can upload images, multiple images at a time. So I'm going to upload these 2 additional images and select open. Okay, so it's just confirming those 2 images that I want to upload, and then I hit upload. Okay, so we now have 3 images. If I go and have a look at the product page and refresh it, after I've saved my changes, so just save and continue, and now go back to my product page and refresh it, you can see that we've got additional thumbnails along the bottom, and that is the additional images that we've uploaded. So I can have a look at what's inside the suitcase. There's a bit of a lifestyle shot there, and that's fine if that's what we want to do. So if we did want to accentuate certain features, we may want that handle, we may want a close-up on that. I would upload a separate image for that handle as the close-up at 1000 by 1000 pixels, and then you've got that image being accentuated there. Okay, but what we want to do though is we want to have this image here as the image that appears on the product category page. And we still want that image to appear on the product page as well. But actually what I want to happen is when the customer clicks through to the product page, instead of just being represented with that image, I want them to see a lifestyle image as the predominant image. And they can then have a look at that image if they want to. Okay, so to do that, remember along here we've got the base image, small image, thumbnail. Well, base image indicates what is the image that is on the product page itself. And all I need to do is select that. Okay, and what that's going to do is, if I save this, is if I go back to the luggage page, you can see there that we have the original image as the main image for the luggage, and that makes sense because that is very clear to see. And when you've got a page of a lot of products on it, you want your products to be very clear and easily identified. And when we click through though, okay, we're now seeing as the first image a lifestyle image of someone actually using that item of luggage. Okay, so we're getting presented with something slightly different. We can see it in real world context. We can see it to scale, all sorts of things there. Okay, but we've still got the option to click through on the different images here and get our closer view. Good practice would also mean that we would put a label on each of these images. So we'd either do that for SEO purposes or for helping out visually impaired people who use screen readers to actually read the description of what the image is. And again, you know, it's just good practice. It's something that will only take a moment as you're putting these images in, and I would recommend it as something you should do. What we've also got here is a sort order. So this is the order that the thumbnails will appear on the product page. So actually it makes sense that this image is the first one, because when I look here, it loads up that image first, but actually it's second in the thumbnail. So what I want to do is I want to say I want that as number 1, that as number 2, and that's number 3. The exclude option over here basically means that I don't want to include that image on the product page. So it may well be that I upload an image that specifically represents the thumbnail for this product, but I never want that appearing here in this list of thumbnails down here. So in which case I can exclude that. And by thumbnail I mean the thumbnail that appears in the checkout, or it appears for things like recently viewed products. If I just go through to, so we've got recently viewed products. That thumbnail there, that particular image, I might upload a separate image for that, and I might not want that to appear in the product page, so I simply tick that. And if I want to delete an image, tick that, hit save, and the image will be removed.